Hey, what's going on? It's Jason Eichmiller. I'm here at beautiful Okehele Park right outside of Wellington. It's kind of in between Wellington and Green Acres. Really awesome park. You got a running trail that's about 3 miles around, and you have like the outer perimeter of the park that's 5 miles around. All sorts of nature, gators, snakes, cool creepy things that that I like. Anyway, what I'm here to do is I'm not here to really talk about the park. It's neat, you can look it up online, it's called Okehele Park, but I'm here to talk about the climate. So today is January 22nd, it's a Monday, it's about 8:30 a.m. and you can see I'm in a tank top and I am drenched in sweat. Temperature, it's a little overcast here, sun's peeking out. Temperature is gonna hit about 80 degrees today or so, maybe high 70s, maybe low 80s. And that's our winters here. We had a cold spell. I'll tell you about our January cold spells. We get it every single year. It stinks. We wear jackets. Yes, it might, maybe for 1 or 2 days a year, the temperature might dip into the high 30s. Most of the time lows in the low 40s. But as the days warm up, I think we had 2 days when it maxed out at the 50s. But most of the days in January, like today is gonna be 80, most of the days, the lows are going to be the high 60s to low 70s. How about that for a winter? And that's one of the reasons why I moved my family. I'm just looking down here, just checking out, make sure I don't step on a rattlesnake or anything. That's one of the big reasons why we moved our family from the Philadelphia area down here about 3.5 years ago. Now, everybody knows winters are warmer in Florida, but there is this rumor that the summers are unbearably hot. Now I'm not gonna talk all about Florida because every place in Florida has its own different climate. But down south in Palm Beach County, we're very close to the Gulf Stream. So the Gulf Stream, it's basically, I'm gonna screw this up, but it's basically a current that carries warm water up from I think it wraps around Florida actually, but it goes all the way up to Canada, and it carries warm water north. So it's pretty close to the Palm Beach coastline, which means that's why our winters are so mild. If you go up to Orlando or to Jacksonville, like up in North Florida, you'll see that the climate is not completely different, but you get multiple days in the 30s. Which is pretty wild down here. I moved down here to get out of that nonsense. So I'd prefer to have a little bit of warmer winter. And on top of that, because of the Gulf Stream, I'm not sure exactly why. I'm definitely not a meteorologist here, but the summers they're hot, but they top out. The average high in July and August, and probably June too, is very low 90s. I think it's about 91 degrees. It rarely, and I can tell you this as somebody who lived in mid-Atlantic for all my life until I moved down here, the summers, you get about a week or two, maybe even 3, where temperature up in the mid-Atlantic is 100 degrees. Maybe it's a little higher. It's so humid, you can't go outside, you're drenched. Now, in the summer, it does get humid down here, but again, I don't think I've experienced a summer high over 93 or 94 degrees down here. So yes, it is hot, you will sweat, but it's actually a little bit cooler. And I think, again, it's because we're so close to the ocean and that Gulf Stream current that kind of keeps us a little bit cool during the summer. Now, the only downside, I'll tell you the downside real quick. In the summers here, the one thing that's a little bit different than the Mid-Atlantic is the Mid-Atlantic, most of the time at night, it cools down a little bit. Here, even though average summer lows are about 71 degrees, it's still, I've experienced my nights in the summer, they barely dip below 80. That's my experience. So yes, the only downside I feel like of the summer here is that nights stay warm. That means the mornings when you go to work out, when you go to exercise, I'd be drenched like this just stepping out of the house. So everything has an upside and a downside. But again, the climate here, it's absolutely awesome. if you like warm weather, hey, getting up to the mid-Atlantic or the Midwest, or taking a trip. We actually were watching our friend's dog, where they went up to Vail to go skiing with their family. So if you like that sort of stuff, if you're into skiing, if you're into cold weather, you can easily book a flight up north. They're not too expensive in the winter. Why? Because nobody wants to go there. Or nobody wants to go there from here. But if that's your thing, then do it. My family, sometimes I tag along, most of the time I don't, but they'll go back up to the Philly area in the fall, just to experience the fall, and do some pumpkin picking and see the leaves change, because you do not have leaves change here, which means you are not raking leaves down here. Again, North Florida is different, the climate's different, and the leaves actually fall from the trees, which is weird when you drive 3 hours and it's just a completely different climate. So anyway, that's all. Obviously, if you're interested in moving here and you want to know what it takes, again, my name is Jason. I'm a mortgage broker. I'm not a realtor, but that means I did it for myself, did it for my family 3.5 years ago. If you want to know, obviously, the mortgage part, the money, the jobs, the intangibles, your family and friends yapping at you, telling you it's a terrible idea and you'll come back in 6 months, whatever, 3.5 years in, couldn't be happier. If you want to know all of that, and of course, if you want to get connected to a solid realtor who isn't part-time and works hard and is aggressive, an insurance broker, because one of the downsides of living down here in Florida is homeowners insurance is pretty pricey. Again, tell you the goods and the bads. Glad to hook you up, glad to connect you. And if you're not just looking in Palm Beach County, again, this is where I live, this is my expertise. But as far as money goes, I can help you anywhere, and a mortgage is a mortgage in Florida, although some counties sometimes have like special first-time homebuyer programs. So yeah, feel free to reach out, 888-309-9705. Again, 888-309-9705. Or you can go to www.keyhome.life. You can email me. Email is going to be below, jason@keyhome.life. Have a great day. And again, if you want to make this Florida dream come true, it's probably easier than you think. It's less stress. Well, you'll be stressed, especially if you're like me and you're moving 1,000 miles away, but you don't have to be stressed. And I'll do my best to help you and to show you how it really is here. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Have a great day. Take care of yourself.